to start, yeah, start the recording here. Um, Today we're going to be focusing on uh, some Taoist meditation techniques, which will probably be sitting. Of course, we'll start out, and as is always true, any of the Qigong movements that you choose to do um, will enhance the sitting practice that you do after the movement. So, so we want to sort of remember the basics here of the three elements of practice: body, breath, and mind. So when we're doing any movement, we want to be moving in rhythm with the breath. And of course, the body is we're sensing, feeling the body, sensing the body, and then the mind is what's directing the attention. So we can direct the attention to moving with the breath, for instance. We can direct the attention to the movement, so the pressure on the feet, the turning of the waist, the relaxation in the belly, and sort of the emptiness of the arms and the hands. They're just not doing anything. And we can move our attention, if we want, back to the breath. So this quality of attention, this is different from thinking. Thinking is an activity of the mind, just like digesting is an activity of the body. But it's not the mind. And just like digestion is not the body, it's an activity of the body. And so what holds the basket that holds the mind is awareness. Awareness is 24/7. And then when we tap into that awareness, and then we can direct it. This is called intention. We can direct it where we want it to go. And this is identical to directing the qi in the body. And so what we don't want is we don't want the mind running on its own when we're practicing. And it's not to say you're a bad person if that's happening. It's just if we notice that happening, then we want to just shift the attention, or I guess we say enliven the attention, and put it somewhere in the body or on the breath. And now, when we go into stillness, um, the attention, attention of the body can move to the posture. And so, this is the alignment and um, the letting go of stiffness, sort of loosening things up. We check the alignment just by feeling into the body. The belly is pushed out a teeny bit. The shoulders are back just a teeny bit. Chin is dropped a little bit. And the ancients teach the tongue is on the roof of the mouth, breathing through the nose. And then there's this little sense of uplift coming from the crown of the head that sort of stretches the spine just a little bit. And when we drop into this posture, we know because the body, the breath, and the mind are in harmony. And we can keep making adjustments as needed. That's fine. And then we're going to now actively use the mind to uh, explore this vertical axis or column. Sort of visualize it, or we set an intention to feel it. And the thing about the column is conscious. It's consciousness. So this relaxes the mind, expands it. Now the awareness is still there, the awareness is bigger. But this has an expansion of consciousness. From maybe you feel it's located somewhere in the head, now it's located through the entire body and even beyond the body. Okay, this isn't a warm-up, this is standing meditation. And if you notice that you suddenly take a deeper breath, so that's a signal that we're dropping into this bigger consciousness a little bit more. Okay, very good. Okay, let's go ahead now and get out of ourselves. Let's bow to the directions. So starting to the east. Now shift the weight to the left foot and step around with the right, and that will turn us south. Out breath, we bow down. In breath, come up. And just reestablish that posture, that verticality, if you can. And shift the weight to the left. Step back around. And to the west. And reestablish. A shift. step around, pivot on the heel, and to the north. So in breath, out breath, go down. In breath, come up. Reestablish. Shift to the left. Bend the knees, step around. Pivot the left heel. Out breath, down. In breath up. Reestablish posture. Okay, and so dipping the knees. In breath, look up. Now we're extending the arms, fingers, and we're extending the mind, the intention outside the body, way up. Okay, and then all around. Okay, very good. And then in breath. Okay, out breath, we're going to go down. Don't strain your knees. In breath, come up. Now we're reestablishing the posture and relaxing the body from the movement. The body might have tensed up. And we're adding to the intention we had before. We're using our hands now to move our intention, our awareness, into the body. So all of the directions we then bring into the center, into the dantians. So this is a meditation posture of uniting the outer and the inner. And in these practices, it's always appropriate to check, to adjust the posture, because it'll change a little bit. It'll relax and so on. Sense sensations in the body. You may get a tingling at the top of the head or the forehead, in the hands, somewhere else in the body. Just notice. Okay, relax. And now our consciousness, our attention can go anywhere from way down in the earth through the roots that we imagine these roots going down and feel them. Attention can go way down. Attention can be anywhere in the body. Belly, the chest, the head can be, the top of the head can be way up. And you can use the eyes if you like. And just sort of explore this. This is sort of the range of consciousness, from the deep, gross physical to boundlessness. It's way, way, way up. Okay, let's take a couple more breaths. And then out breath, and relax. The posture will naturally drop into the standing one posture. Now this, if you notice, this is sort of how hands and arms are when we're asleep. They're not completely flopped, and they're not completely stiff. There's just sort of this natural place that they go. Okay, very good. All right, and let's go into the crane. So dropping the chin and the head, letting the head be very heavy. And then as it goes around, you may notice little areas of stiffness. And if you find one, like I found one up in the upper left, you can just sort of stay there where it is. You can even use your hand and gently pull your head a little bit to stretch it out. So if you encounter any place that's stiff, that's a little painful, you don't just go by it. I mean, you can, but you can also stay with it and it'll relax. A physical therapist said that it takes about 15 seconds um, for a tight place to let go. Okay. And then when it does, then just continue. So you can, if you don't have any pain or tightness, that's fine. And just go around. But if you do, you know, in the upper back or somewhere, you can release it. Okay. And now the crane, we're going to focus on the chin and move the chin forward, make a big circle, and then tuck it. So we're circling the chin. Okay. And if that's pretty good, and then reverse. So go the other way. This is the turtle sort of coming out of its shell and withdrawing into its shell. Okay, so that's forward and backward, and then there's the all around going around. And then these are not separate from shoulders, of course. So you naturally will kind of get into the shoulders. And the way that it's taught is to do them both at once and start small and then make them bigger and bigger. And it's very good. It's fine. And then the other way. You can also alternate and then alternate the other direction. Excuse me just a moment. Okay, and so that gets nice and loose. You know, then we'll want to move down. So widening the stance. So we'll do the and this is bringing even more awareness to the breath because the whole body is moving with the breath. In breath, out breath. And you can do this still in rhythm with the breath, and you can do it twice as fast. Doesn't change the breathing. That's fine. Or you can do it even more slowly. Let's do one more. So it doesn't matter so much how many breaths you're doing per movement. It's just that we're aware that we're in rhythm with the breath in some way, whether it's just the beat or double time or half time, as long as it's coordinated. Okay, and then rocking the pelvis. So we're aware of breath when we're doing this too. Okay, and then circling the hips. Now, the esoteric teaching about this is that we're spiraling, okay, and a right-hand spiral brings the energy down. It's just like a screw. If you turn a screw, it goes down, it goes in. So this direction spirals the energy downward. And then the other way, this moves the energy upwards. That's the teaching. Okay. So when we're spiraling to the right, this is the energy of birth. So this is coming into being. This is the energy that with teaching is that the chi comes down to the physical realm, spiraling this way and enlivens the body and the consciousness of a newborn. So this is earth. And then at death, this spirals up and then out the top of the head. So leaving the body, at least the Shen energy. There's other energies that go down into the earth too. It's much more complicated, but this is kind of the basic thing. Okay, and then balance. So reestablish the posture, and the tube or the light that goes down into the earth makes it easier to stand up. Okay, and then as you shift the weight, drop down a little bit. You're aware of breath. So just a word about this. I mean, this not only develops balance, maintains balance in the body so we don't fall down, but the teaching is this also creates and maintains self-confidence. That if we're okay standing on one foot, we're going to remain balanced when something happens in our lives, which we don't want, or which is hard. We maintain our balance. Because this isn't just a physical exercise. This is an exercise of consciousness. The whole column is conscious. Okay, very good. Okay, so now we've moved down the body, and now let's bring in the upper body. Let's practice the cranes. Now, feel free to do any of the crane movements you want. The basic crane, the flying crane, I should say. You form this sort of basket. In breath, out breath. The basic movement, and you can just do this. You can sit down as much as you want. This can be quite demanding if you sink down. Maintain the posture. So this is working with the middle dantian, the chest, the lungs. And the hands are propelled by the breath. Okay. Now there are many other variants of the basic movement. So one of them is then the inner crane. Now the palms face the body, so now we're engaging inside the body, outside the body. Okay, so that's a variation. Another one is as the hands come up, you make the crane speak, you touch the fingers to the thumb. Okay. And if you want to, with your eyes open, if you're balanced, you can go up on your tiptoes. Okay. So another variation is you can extend so that you could just come down partly. Okay, you can, if you like, you can shift the weight and go up on one foot. The name of that is White Crane Spreads Its Wings. Bend the weighted knee. That's another variant. And another one is you can step forward and then back. You can even walk, keep stepping forward. And then you can step backward. So these are some of the variations of the crane movement. But you can see this is different from, you know, the mountain movements. This is more of a movement into boundlessness. Crane flies in the sky. It also stands on the earth. So let's reduce the movements. Okay, and let's do walking crane. So crane walks the riverbank. So the arm movements are just like walking. With the breath, of course. And then as the left hand goes out, the right foot goes out. And then you can walk forward. You can walk backward. Or you can do it in place. The name is Crane Walks the Riverbank. This is very, very good for balance, of course. And okay, let's reduce the movements. And then the subtle ones are the breathing crane. So we're just embracing the womb of life. So just in breath. And then moving up. Okay, very good. All right, and before we go into the sitting practice, so the cranium is kind of up here. So we want to also balance that. So let's do tree in autumn. So in breath, palms face down. We're moving the attention down the body, all the way down. Eyes follow the hands. Can you feel that attention going down the body? It's like a screen going down through the body. I often get an image of combing hair, combing all the muscles, all the organs. Okay, very good. Let's do a couple more. Okay, very good. Let's go ahead and bring up our stool, chair. Okay, and now this is different from standing. The body's going to have to adjust to this a little. So go ahead and sort of just gently move it, relax from the, the movement that we did. You may want to use the crane's beak mudra on your knees, or the cosmic mudra, whatever you do with your hands is fine. Okay, now there's not very much weight on the feet, bottoms of the feet, not a lot of pressure, and there's of course a lot more on the butt. We just want to reestablish the posture. So feeling the bottoms of the feet, feeling the pressure from the stool or chair, and checking the spine, dropping the chin a little. Make any adjustments you need to. And when you have the physical body, when you can feel that it's pretty good, pretty close, then you want to extend. And you extend down through the bottoms of the feet, through the bubbling wells, and through the perineum, the lowest point in the torso. You extend down, then there's that column. Now, the column can be bigger than the body, so the whole sitting body is enclosed in the column, or is included in the column, I should say. You can also use that laser beam if you like. The feet will be out front a little bit. Now, let's try this practice. This is cultivating the inner voice. Awareness has voices. Consciousness has voices. And what we want is for it to be your voice. So for this class, it's been my voice. You've been listening to it. But that's fine as far as it goes. But what we want is your voice. So let's try it just the beginning. So in your own mind, with your own voice. So repeat after me. I feel my feet on the floor. I feel my belly is relaxed. I feel the belly moving with the breath. I feel the spine. I feel my chest moving with the breath. I lift my shoulders and let them down. I drop my chin a little bit and elongate the back of my neck. Drop the chin, elongate the neck. The body is sitting. The body feels aligned. I'm now going to extend awareness down into the earth. There are roots coming from my feet. I feel them in the earth. I feel the vertical column from the center of the earth all the way up. I extend my awareness out the crown of the head, up into the universe, where it branches in all directions like a tree. I feel consciousness expanding, radiating from this body in all directions. I extend my awareness out in all directions. The body sits in the middle of this infinite, expanded awareness. And now I'm going to be quiet and just let you use your own voice to direct your attention, like we just did, anywhere in the body, anywhere in the column, anywhere out around the body. Use your own voice to direct your attention. Okay, let's take a few more breaths. And then just one more repeat after me, if you don't mind. This voice is my inner teacher. Now, this consciousness has the ability to listen, that is, to listen to the voice, to feel the body, to be receptive. Consciousness is receptive and it's active. It can speak, it can direct attention, and it's in this loop. We direct attention and then we feel the result. And consciousness is receptive and active. So we can try this. You say to yourself, I'm now going to smile. Let the smile come and see what effect it has. We produce and receive our reality. And say something like, all is well in this moment. See what effect that has. Now, the Buddha taught this. We produce and consume our own reality. Okay. And then as you're ready, go ahead and narrate. So I'm going to move my head. I'm going to move my shoulders, whatever you want to do. Now activate the voice. And then listen to the body, feel the body. We initiate a movement and then we feel its effect. Okay, very good. Let's go ahead now and I'll clap to all together on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you so much for joining in. Thank you for your practice. Remember, we're practicing for ourselves and for everyone we relate to. So if you would like to slip away, please do. And if you'd like to stay, then I'll turn off the recording.